Hello again, book sniffers. We have got another guest today in our studio. We are here with Sir Timothy of Knapman. Timothy Knapman. Hello, Timothy.
Hello.
Tim or Timothy?
Tim, why not?
Timothy to anyone?
Timothy to my creditors, but Tim to everyone else.
Okay, say no more. Say no more.
Public.
Thanks for popping in today. I know you're very busy.
Well, I have actually just published 3 books in one day. Which is quite a lot.
Which ones came out?
Oh, goodness me. Well, would you like me to show them to you?
Yes.
Well,
all right, we've got them lined up.
We have, yes. Well, there's one. This is The Winter Fox, which is rather jolly. And there's When Santa Came to Stay.
There's a theme occurring.
There is. This is true. The theme is slightly broken by...
The theme is summer.
Yes. Well, it might be. And this one, which is called Time Now to Dream.
With Helen Oxenbury.
Although, of course, Chris Chatterton is also a very good illustrator, as indeed is Rebecca Harry. I am very lucky.
This is good that you've mentioned illustrators straight away, because that's one of the. We've got some questions.
Good.
From Twitter, and Emma O'Donovan, my partner in crime, has given us some questions too. So we've got some lined up. And one of my questions, obviously being mainly an illustrator, is you work with a lot of illustrators. How collaborative can the process be? Do you see the illustrators? How does it vary from publisher to publisher and illustrator to illustrator?
Well, that's a very good question, Steve, and I'm not sure I've got a very good answer. I'm afraid it all depends. Most often the experience is that I never actually meet the illustrator while the book's being constructed.
Right, okay.
So what you will do is I'll write a script, or write a text, and then illustrators will submit often character sketches, and then we discuss them. I discuss them with my editor. My editor then talks to the designer. The designer then talks. It's like a sort of Chinese whispers. But anyway, it all gets through to the illustrator at the end, and then the illustrator will do roughs for each spread, so sketches of the sort of thing that he or she thinks is the thing to illustrate in each particular double-page spread. And again, I'll put in my comments. The publishers put in their comments. And then they basically they're off and they can do what they like.
Okay, so there's quite a lot of time constraints, aren't there? Because this is another question: is what comes first, the character or the story? Does it vary from project to project?
Again, that is very interesting. I mean, sometimes again they do vary, so sometimes somebody will give me a picture. Sometimes a publisher will give me a picture and say, we've got an illustrator, they've got a character, can you think of a story that goes with this? Sometimes it will be an idea I've had. Usually they tend in that case not to be about characters first, but about stories, and I do think sometimes the mistake some people can make is to make them too much about characters. I think the story is the most important thing, and I think character follows and serves the story. I mean, you've got to have interesting and vivid characters, but the story is the thing that comes first.
Have you ever sketched a character yourself?
No.
Had a backward drawing?
No. I mean, I did like doing art at school, but I didn't do it for very long. No, I think
the Stickman Chronicles or something could be a new title.
I could be a millionaire. In fact, I'm off. I'm doing that now. I genuinely think that if I could draw them, I should draw them. So what I like to do is to sort of leave a space for the illustrator. So obviously there are certain things, if in your story it's necessary for the character to be fat and the illustrator draws a thin person, then you say, that doesn't work. Yeah. But apart from that, I think it's up to the illustrator, because they always...
Like Father Christmas is traditionally
got to be fat, yes. And if he's thin, then there has to be a reason in the story why,
I like how some of the characters that you've created with the illustrator. Brilliant.
That's Nicky Dyson. That's brilliant.
Great. So you've got so you've worked with Nicky Dyson.
Oh yes.
On this book, and that's with Walker.
Yep.
Now I'll leave that one because that's a bit of a preview. So Dance a Lot.
That's Keith Robinson.
Bloomsbury. You get quite a lot of finishes on your books.
I do, don't I? Well, I insist. Otherwise
and Santa, we've seen Santa. Very good. And this is one of the new ones as well, with lots and lots of foil.
Oh yes, the lots inside as well.
And this one, so this is a new format.
This is a new format for the Superhero Dad. That was for the last Father's Day, because it was holes in it. It has. I think the other one has holes in it, but yes, the board book thing.
And this is illustrated by
Joe Berger, the very marvellous and wonderful Joe Berger. Yes.
And so, is there going to be a sequel or another version?
Well, there is talk of Superhero Mum, I have to say. So with any luck, there'll be Superhero Mum and a Superhero Daughter as well. Because when we've been taking the book out and reading it to people, so the one thing people said was, well, what about the daughter? And so yes, we're going to address that.
Okay. And so, what was it like working with Helen Oxenbury?
Well, absolutely extraordinary. Something I never thought I'd do, because I don't know about you, Steve, but I think for people of my generation, basically, it's Helen Oxenbury and I guess Quentin Blake. Those are the two sort of the top of the profession of their generation.
Yes.
They're the people we sort of grew up with, and the chance of working with either of them, extraordinary. The chance of working with Helen, fantastic. She's lovely. She's receptive. Of course, she's brilliant, and the interesting thing was there was a lot of back and forth between her and the designer. I thought when you got to her stage,
established, she just run with it.
No, but they would say, could we do more of this? Could we do more? All that sort of stuff. So she's a collaborator, and I think that's the other thing about what we do is that it's. I like collaborating with people, and I like people who like collaborating. That's the thing.
Maybe that's why she's done so well as well, because she's still up for collaborating and working with designers, and not just saying, well, I know what I'm doing, leave me alone. So that's good. So let's look at some other questions.
Right. Okay.
This is quite tricky. See how this goes. It's turning into question time.
Good,
how do you think Brexit will affect the children's publishing industry?
That is an extraordinary question to which I have nothing intelligent to say. I don't know. I mean, the only thing I would say is that, as we know, and perhaps people don't outside the biz, because these things cost a lot of money to make. It's
especially when they're covered in foil.
Foil, yeah, absolutely. Well,
every page coated in foil.
Is that wrong?
That's good.
The publishers like to spread the cost by publishing foreign language versions of the book. So they go to the 2 book festivals every year, the book fairs every year, Bologna in the spring, Frankfurt in the autumn, and they sell the rights to do the books in foreign languages at both of those. And if something gets in the way of that, then that is going to be a serious problem for us, because that's kind of what keeps the business going. Because as I say, these are very expensive things to make. I mean, they're not, that thing that people occasionally refer to as a real book, a novel or something like that. That's quite a cheap thing to make. Whereas, look at the colour, look at the foil, look at the foil. That's different. And if it is, if that does. Is threatened by Brexit, well, then we are, up a certain gum tree.
Okay. On a less serious note,
thank goodness.
Which part of the writing process do you find most challenging?
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, usually it's not having the idea, because you kind of don't sit there staring at a blank piece of paper.
But you've got a sketchbook or something, a notebook that you jot all your ideas
notebook and put things on my phone and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually the sort of the bit between the middle and the end. So usually when you get an idea, you get the beginning and the first bit up to the middle, and you get the punchline, as it were, the end. It's that sort of Act 3 bit that is always the most difficult bit, because that's the bit where you have to take the story and make it more interesting, and that's the most challenging bit.
Okay. Now, do you have any top tips for writer's block? Do you believe in writer's block? I know some people don't.
Well, it has to be said, a lot of these books are quite short. So you'd have to be going some to get writer's block.
You write fiction as well, though, don't you?
That's true. I suppose. I think, generally speaking, I like to get the whole story sorted out before I start.
Okay.
And I think if you are the sort of person who likes to take a line,
you get writer's block when you're doing that?
Well, you do, but then it's not writer's block because you haven't written anything. It's thinker's block, and that's fine. Everybody gets thinker's block, and you just wait until the whole thing is clear in your head. I think one of the things that does sometimes happen is I only work in the morning. I don't know about you, but that's when I can.
Well, I normally finish about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. But usually it's about 3 hours. I can get 3 good hours every day, 9 o'clock till 12.
Yeah.
And then
what do you do?
Well, anything that when I'm stuck, you go for a walk and
Homes Under the Hammer.
No. I could
Pointless.
never. No, yes, pointless, obviously. But apart from that, no daytime television, because then you never get anything done.
No.
I really, genuinely, I have no self-control, and
That would be you. That'd be the end of your
that'll be
career.
it. Yes, such as it is.
So you go top tip. Don't watch daytime
Don't watch.
television.
Yes, exactly. Very good. What he said.
Okay, so we've covered writer's block.
Yes.
Are there any books by any other authors that you wish you had written?
Well, all of Tor Freeman's books, obviously. And obviously all of yours, but your 1.5 books, because you've written 1.5 books.
1.5. Yes. One. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
I've done my research.
You've watched the blog.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
You're the other viewer.
Thank you very much. Yes, exactly. Hence the unhelpful remarks in the comments section. Well, let me think. Well, there were all the books that I really loved when I was a kid. So I say all. There weren't that many actually. I mean,
No.
we had Where the Wild Things Are. That was certainly a very big influence on me, and it still is my favourite picture book. I still think it's absolutely brilliant.
That's the one I always had to get out of the library every week. Just
Right.
had to renew it unless
Yes.
someone else had requested it.
So that's bookshops.
What are you working on at the moment?
Oh, many things, but
I think you've brought a proof.
I
Do you
have
want to
brought. Yes,
tell us
sorry.
about this?
Yes, this is. I'm going to show it to the nice boys and girls back home. This is the third in a series. We've done a couple of books. In fact, you can probably see them on the back. Dinosaurs in the Supermarket, and Dinosaurs in My School, and people like them so much that we thought, well, let's do some more. So we thought, well, we've done the Dinosaurs Go Somewhere Else.
Yeah.
From Dinosaurs in the Supermarket. Why don't we have
Move
other
on from
people
dinosaurs.
go to the supermarket? So we've got pirates in the supermarket, and I have to say, rather
Illustrated by Sarah
illustrated with Sarah Alton. Yes.
Warburton.
Oh, absolutely.
She doesn't just make bread; she also illustrates brilliant books.
You're going to do that joke when she comes, aren't you?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
very good.
I always, every
That's
time
very,
I see
very good.
her. Every
Excellent.
time I see her. I like
So-
this. I won't show everything because
No, but it's all about spotting
spotting
the pirates, just as in the other books. It's about spotting the dinosaurs
Yeah.
as well. And see, I do think Dinosaurs in the Supermarket would be a good stage show, because that's all about, look behind you and there he is and all that in the audience. See, I think that could work really well.
So so you finished that one.
That's finished.
But
and
is there going to be another one in this series, or what's
there
the
may
work
well
on
be.
that?
We are talking about another Dinosaurs one, because the Dinosaurs in My
So
School went
popular.
very well. So hopefully there'll be another Dinosaurs one. And who knows, if people really like the pirates in the supermarket, maybe the pirates will go somewhere else. So we have franchise upon franchise. It's really like Star Wars. just man can dream.
Wars.
Yes.
Pirates of the Caribbean that has been done, but I think you could a new
Yes.
twist, adding
Yes,
a
come
supermarket.
on.
Johnny Depp in a supermarket.
Absolutely.
But you must have another picture book
Oh,
that you're
gosh.
writing that's not related to pirates,
It's not
not
related
related to
to the- not-
supermarkets or
oh,
dinosaurs.
it's pirates-
Give us a tempting
Gosh.
bit of
Yes.
something.
Well, actually, there is. It's very early days yet, but I have written a picture book about.
You're not going to get in trouble if you mention this.
Shouldn't think so. About a bogey. Yes, about a wicked, naughty bogey.
Picture book.
Picture book.
Okay.
So someone's got to draw a bogey a lot.
Do you have any top tips for authors touring or doing events? So I know there's more pressure to try and do events if you can to get your books out there.
Yes.
So what kind of things do you do when you?
Well, I
go
see. This
to
is the thing. I'm not
schools
like you.
or-
You're the guy who should be giving the tips, because I'm very old school. It's just me and the books. I mean, sometimes
as a writer, 'cause illustrator,
and
I can go in and
you can do
draw
drawing and all that kind of stuff,
yeah.
and do workshops and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
active stuff. Whereas generally speaking, I just read the books and talk about books and answer questions about the books.
Yeah.
Which I hope is still interesting and good. I mean, sometimes there are you can project the pages on the wall behind
Yeah.
you on the screen. That's
Yeah.
quite useful. But I think generally speaking, be pleased to be there. Be nice to them, and it is a great opportunity to reconnect with your audience, because I don't know about you, but I mean, all my friends' kids are a bit old now. They the kids I used to write for,
Yes,
they're all
they're
at
all too
university and doing A levels.
I think it is great just actually going along to a school or a bookshop is really inspiring for the children, because when I was little I never had any authors or illustrators or anyone come and visit my
And they
school.
think we're from Mars or something.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
And they couldn't possibly ever do it.
No.
And actually you go in and they think, oh,
Well, thanks so much for
no,
coming
thank
in.
you. Thank you very much. Enjoyed having me.
And I will put your website details
Oh, that's very
underneath.
kind. I was
They
going
do
to say,
this,
so
don't they?
we're going to have a call.
Call.
It's
It's
a
not.
call.
It's not
Yes.
Strip Your X Factor, but
Yes,
check out
exactly.
the website.
Yes, don't call now. We're not.
And
Call now?
so keep up to date with all Tim's stuff there.
Do.
Thanks very much for coming into the
Thank
box.
you
I'm going to
very
give you.
much indeed.
I didn't show us giving Britta her badge, but there's your.
Oh my goodness
If you come in,
me.
you get a book sniffer
That's
badge.
fantastic.
It's like the new Blue Peter
It
badge.
is, isn't it?
There you go. The handing over
Ooh.
ceremony.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Academy. Thank you very much. That's very
Okay.
kind.
Thanks,
Oh.
Tim.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you just burp?
I did just burp, but that's been
Outtakes.
good.
Okay, right, we're on.